Children, we know that autotrophs are the organisms which can prepare their own food material themselves. But how? My question is, we are not preparing our own food material ourselves, whereas plants are preparing their own food material themselves. So, what makes the difference? What is the advantage there for the plants to prepare their own food material themselves? So, how the plants prepare, how the autotrophs prepare their own food material themselves? We know that autotrophs are the organisms capable of using mainly energy from the sun, which is called solar energy or light energy. So, autotrophs like plants are having the capacity to use light energy, So, autotrophs use mainly which energy, children? Light energy. Which energy? Light energy. To synthesize, okay? To synthesize means to prepare or to manufacture, okay? To prepare or to manufacture chemical compounds. What are the children? What is that? Chemical compounds. Mainly chemical compounds. So mainly here, see children, autotrophs are the organisms like plants. Mainly they prepare their own food material themselves by using the light energy, to synthesize chemical compounds. Not only light energy, children, they take mineral salts and water from the soil. Plants take mineral salts. And water from where, children? Yes, from soil. So from soil they take mineral salts and water and gases from air. So here once again I repeat, autotrophs are the organisms which prepare their own food material themselves. But how, children? How do they prepare? They prepare by taking gases from the air, mineral salts and water from the soil. Yes. So here they acquire means they take. They are capable of producing complex carbohydrates. Like complex compounds. They are capable of preparing complex compounds like carbohydrates, proteins. They are capable of preparing complex compounds like carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So once again I repeat, what is the difference between autotrophs and heterotrophs? Yes, we know that autotrophs are the organisms that they can prepare their own food material themselves. Heterotrophs anyway they can't prepare, they have to depend on autotrophs only. No doubt in this. But how the autotrophs are preparing their own food material? So what is the advantage for those organisms? So how do they prepare? Mainly using light energy. So by using light energy they synthesize several compounds, chemical compounds. Not only light energy, children, they prepare their food by taking different gases from the air like carbon dioxide and mineral salts and water from the soil. They are capable of preparing complex compounds like carbohydrates, proteins and fats. These are the macronutrients. Already we have learned it from very simple substances. So remember this, they are capable of producing or preparing complex compounds like carbohydrates from very simple substances. These compounds produced by autotrophic plants are utilized for providing energy. So from carbohydrates, proteins and fats, we will get the energy. Not only ourselves, every organism on the land. Simply in this paragraph or in this what we have learned means plants are providing food for every living organisms by taking different gases from the air, mineral salts and water from the soil and by using light energy. That is why plants are called Universal food providers. What are those children? Universal. Plants are called universal. Universal food providers. Why they are called universal food providers, children? Why? Because they provide food for all the organisms. Okay. Children, just now you learned the difference between autotrophs and heterotrophs. So we know that plants provide food. Plants provide food. So how the plants provide food? So by a process called as, what is that process, children? Yes, that process is called as photosynthesis. So plants prepare food material by themselves by a process called as photosynthesis. Due to this process only, the plants are called as universal food providers. Universal food providers. And the scientists have been working for centuries to find out how these plants prepare their own food material themselves, and they found the answer also by a process called as photosynthesis. And you have studied something about photosynthesis in the earlier classes, investigations, okay, into the plant's life process, etc. So actual experimentation to know about plants need, okay, actual experimentation to know about plants needs have been started from 17th century. A scientist name, what is his name, children? Van Helmont. In 7th class you have learned Van Helmont. His name is Van Helmont. So many scientists did the experiments to find out how the plants perform a special life process to provide food for all the living organisms. At that time, a scientist named Van Helmont, okay, for a period Van Helmont established here the role of water by an experiment conducted by him for a period of 5 years. So you have learned this. Okay, so Van Helmont, he mainly told the role of the water for photosynthesis. So he told that mainly because of the water, plants are able to perform the photosynthesis. So here, and next one, you will observe, it is to humankind another 300 years to arrive at the present definition of photosynthesis. So that is 17th century to 20th century or 21st century means around 300 years. See children, how much difference. So in 70s, before 17th century or during 17th century, scientists have been they have done so many investigations to find out the answer for this question, how the plants prepare their own food material themselves. At the same time, a scientist named Van Helmont, he told about the role of water for the increase in the mass of the plant. So he told that because of the water only, the plant mass will be increased. So now it is after 300 years, we know the definition of mainly the process of photosynthesis, right? Here, can you name some raw material required for photosynthesis? So already we have seen this definition and we have learned this definition in the earlier classes. And can you name some raw materials? So what are the raw materials that are required for the plants to carry out photosynthesis? What could be the end products also? So two questions are here. One question is, what are the raw materials? See, in order to prepare anything, the raw material is required. If you take any factory, okay, the raw material is required. With the help of raw material, they will produce so many things. So here also, plant is producing the food. That what are the raw materials that are required and what are the end products? So obviously, after listening to this concept, you will answer these two questions. Anyway, again we will discuss these two questions after discussion of the concept photosynthesis. So here photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? So photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction. What is this, children? Photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction. Photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction in which plants prepare their own food material themselves by using four factors. Those are CO2. What is the meaning of CO2, children? Carbon dioxide. CO2 means carbon dioxide. Next one is sunlight. Carbon dioxide, sunlight, and third one is H2O. What is H2O? Water. And fourth one is chlorophyll. So these four factors are the very, very important factors. So the raw materials are the answer for this question. First question, what are the raw materials that are required for the plants to produce food or for photosynthesis? Means carbon dioxide, sunlight, water, and chlorophyll. So here, once again I repeat the definition, children. Photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction. This is called as photo. Photo means light and chemical. So photochemical reaction in which plants prepare their own food material themselves by using four factors: sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, and chlorophyll. Sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, and chlorophyll. So here you can see the figure 1, that is the four factors that is given, children. So here, anyway, this is a plant. Okay. So here you will observe, so what are the things that are required? So see, children, this is a plant. Sunlight is required. Okay, this is the soil. Okay, anyway, the water, and you see the chlorophyll. What is this, children? Chlorophyll. Sunlight, water, chlorophyll, and the gas from the air, which is called as CO2. So carbon dioxide. So these are the four factors. And once again I repeat, children, photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction in which plants prepare their own food material themselves by using the four factors. One is carbon dioxide, second one is sunlight, third one is chlorophyll, and fourth one is water. So anyway, chlorophyll is present in the leaves, and from the sunlight from the sun, solar energy or light energy takes, and from the air, the gas carbon dioxide it takes, and water from the soil, okay, it takes. Fine. Now let us see the photosynthesis and its equation. So photosynthesis is the process by which plants containing the mainly green colored pigment chlorophyll build up complex organic molecules from simple inorganic. So complex organic molecules are nothing but carbohydrates. These are simple inorganic things like carbon dioxide. So these are the simple substances. Carbon dioxide, water, these are the simple substances. So carbon dioxide and water are the simple substances. So that is CO2. This is a simple substance, and 2H2O, CO2, 2H2O, these both are simple substances in the presence of sunlight and with the help of chlorophyll. So with the help of the simple inorganic substances by using sunlight energy, okay, and with the help of chlorophyll, mainly plants prepare their own food material themselves. So what are the products that will be formed? CH2O, H2O, and oxygen. So see, with another color I am writing here, products. So these can be considered as end products. That is the second question answer. For first question, the answer is this one. What are the raw materials? And these are the end products. Okay, carbon dioxide, water, and oxygen are the end products, and these are the raw material: carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and chlorophyll. So you got the two questions answers there in the textbook. Okay, so once again I repeat this concept, children. This is very important. Photosynthesis is a process of preparation of food material from simple inorganic substance, from simple, yes, inorganic substances to complex organic substances. Simple inorganic substances are carbon dioxide and water. In the presence of sunlight and with the help of chlorophyll, we will get, this is CH2O is a carbohydrate, water and oxygen. And here several reactions takes place and several intermediate compounds also formed. Scientists had tried to formulate the equation. The equation used widely is related to the one proposed by C.B. Warnell. So, what is the scientist this equation was proposed? His name is C.B. Warnell. C.B. Warnell in 1991. According to his opinion was for each molecule of carbohydrate formation, CH2 is a carbohydrate. So, what he given the statement? Who? C.B. Warnell. So, one scientist already we came across about one Hellman. He told about the importance of water, children. But C.B. Warnell, he gave one statement regarding the photosynthesis equation. So, according to him, his opinion was, okay, for each molecule of carbohydrate formation, here one molecule of carbon dioxide and one molecule of water are required. Anyway, that is there. So, each molecule of carbohydrate formation, one molecule of carbon dioxide, that is left hand side there in the equation, and one molecule of water is required. So, in this process, along with carbohydrate, one molecule of oxygen and one molecule of water again formed. So, what is the statement he gave? That is there in this equation only. So, what is the statement he gave? For each molecule of carbohydrate formation, one molecule of water and one molecule of carbon dioxide is required. At the same time, what are the end products that are formed? One molecule of water and oxygen also. So, what would be the reaction? One question is there to show that glucose is being synthesized. So, here CH2 is a carbohydrate but not a glucose. There are several types of carbohydrates are glucose, fructose, galactose, mannose, sucrose, deoxyribose, ribose. All these are carbohydrates only. But in this process, the glucose is prepared. That is the important one. So, what would be the reaction if the product is glucose? Let us see the balanced equation, right? So, C.B. Warnell first worked out on purple sulfur bacteria. So, C.B. Warnell, he first worked on purple sulfur bacteria, okay, and found light plays a specific role in photosynthesis. So, what is the statement he gave? He first worked on purple sulfur bacteria and found that light plays an important role in photosynthesis. Okay. Children, we learned that C.B. Warnell first worked on purple sulfur bacteria and found that light plays a specific role in photosynthesis. Yes or no? Right. So, what he did is, instead of water, he used H2S as a starting material. So, instead of water, he used, so you know that CO2 plus 2H2O give rise to CH2O plus H2O plus O2. So, this is the equation for photosynthesis, sunlight and chlorophyll. So, C.B. Warnell, what he did? He, instead of water, he used H2S. When he used H2S, he got sulfur in the presence of oxygen. Okay. Later, he envisioned a similar process of photosynthesis in plants when glucose was absorbed to the products. So, the equation is slightly modified when glucose is observed as a product. So, what is the equation for the photosynthesis? The actual equation is what I am going to write now is the actual equation, balanced chemical equation. So, that is 6CO2 plus 12H2O give rise to C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. In the presence of sunlight, SL, I am writing in shortcuts CHL. So, we know that photosynthesis equation is CO2 plus 2H2O give rise to CH2O plus HO2, H2O plus O2. Yes or no? Right. So C.P. Varnell, and he gave the importance of light in photosynthesis. And firstly he used H2S in the presence of water. Then instead of oxygen he got sulfur when he used. Later he envisioned a similar process of photosynthesis in plants. When glucose was observed to be a product of photosynthesis, the following equation was proposed by him. What is the equation? 6CO2 plus 12H2O gave rise to C6H12O6. This is glucose, which is a carbohydrate. And this is carbon dioxide. And this is water. And this is oxygen, children, and this is water. So this balanced equation, sometimes in the exams also they will ask, what is the balanced equation for photosynthesis? 6CO2 plus 12H2O gave rise to C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O in the presence of sunlight with the help of chlorophyll. Right? So it is known that plant synthesize carbohydrates, the smaller and simpler uses the first, and from these they prepare the complex ones. Now animals are not capable of synthesizing carbohydrates and they have to depend on plants for the use. That is why they are called heterotrophic. Can we state that photosynthesis is the basic source, energy source for most of the living world? Yes, of course. The question is there. Can we state that photosynthesis is the basic energy source for most of the living world? Why or why not? Yes, it's the basic source for most of the living world. Why? Because the answer is, if you take the herbivores or carnivores or the human beings, all of us have to depend on plants for the food directly or indirectly. Now let us study how plants prepare carbohydrates through photosynthesis. And we have studied that plants prepare carbohydrate which is called glucose, and how they can prepare the carbohydrate through an experiment which is the activity 1. So that is presence of starch, a type of carbohydrate. What is starch, children? A type of carbohydrate in leaves. Okay. Children, so far we have learned the photosynthesis and its equation. Yes or no? Right. So we know that plants prepare food material by using the 4 factors, that is carbon dioxide, sunlight, water and chlorophyll. No doubt in that. So from the simple substances the complex carbohydrate is formed. Here the complex carbohydrate is starch. Now our main motto is to prove whether the starch is present in the leaf or not. Test for the presence of starch. Simply this is an activity. So test for the presence of starch. Children, in your 10th class, this activity is very important. They might ask the questions like this. They might ask the questions like this, children. Either they will ask for 4 marks or they will ask for 2 marks. Like, what happens when we heat the leaf in the methylated spirit, or what happens when we treat the leaf with the iodine reagent, or for 1 mark also they will ask like this, what are the chemicals that are taken in this experiment. For this you have to read this experiment carefully. Before that you have to understand, you have to listen this experiment very carefully, children. This is very important, no doubt in that. So here we know that starch is a type of, it's a complex carbohydrate, no doubt in that. So how do you prove that whether starch is nothing but food, children, whether food is present in the leaf or not? For that, this activity is here. See, in science, if you are going to write an activity or experiment, you have to follow some steps like aim. What is that first one, children? aim. What is the aim here? To prove the presence of starch. What is the aim here? To prove the presence of starch. Apparatus or materials required. Apparatus or materials. So what are the materials that are there? So you can leave this column. Why? Because after writing this as an experiment, you can write, or if you know the things, you can write directly. So like the boiling tube, test tube, inside this methylated spirit, and this is the Bunsen burner, asbestos gauge, tripod stand, like this. The parts are there, no? Those comes under the material. Okay. So what is the first one? Aim, to prove the presence of starch in the leaves. And second one is apparatus or materials required. And third one is procedure. So what is procedure, children? What we are going to do in the experiment, that is called as procedure. And finally, if you will find any precautions or care, you can write that, or finally you can complete this experiment with inference or result. Inference or result. This is how you can write this experiment. If you will read this experiment by following these steps, it will be very, very easy. So first one is, what is that, children? First one, you have to write the aim. Second one, apparatus or materials required. Third one, procedure. What is procedure? What we are going to do this in activity, that is called as procedure. And fourth one is, what is the fourth one, children? Fourth one is, if any precautions are there, you can write the precautions, and finally you can conclude this experiment with conclusion, that is also called as inference, that is also called as result. Now let's see, and this experiment is very, very important for your final examination point of view. Right. So presence of starch, that is activity 1. So diagram is there. Sometimes the questions will be asked like this also, children. They will give the diagram and they ask you to write some parts. Okay. And sometimes they will give the diagram and they will ask you to write what this diagram represents. What is this diagram represents, children? Presence of starch. Presence of starch. So the question can be asked in any angle in CCE pattern. Okay, continuous comprehensive evolution. Okay, CC is nothing but continuous comprehensive evolution. In this CC pattern, the question can be asked indirectly or directly. Understand? They will give the result. They will ask you to write the experiment. Either they will give the experiment. They will ask you to write the result. So it can be asked in any angle, children. For this, you have to understand the entire experiment. No need to mug up. In science, if you will understand the concepts very well, no need to mug up, and it will fetches you the subject and marks too. Understand? Right. So here, what are the main things that are here? So anyway, the beaker is there, which is highlighted with the pink color, and there is a test tube. Inside the test tube, the leaf is there, and this is one more thing is there, but that is called as methylated spirit. So first one is aim, to prove the presence of starch in the leaves. Apparatus or materials required. So what are the apparatus or materials required? Beaker, test tube, methylated spirit. Next one, this is also called as boiling tube, test tube or boiling tube, and this is asbestos gauge. So in between this boiling tube and the flame with the Bunsen burner, there is a separation. See, that is called as asbestos gauge. Okay, and this is a stand, and from under, okay, this test tube, the flame will be given, so that we are heating this. First of all, when coming to the procedure, take a test tube. So this is a test tube or the boiling tube. Inside that, take some methylated spirit. This is simply called as alcohol. Okay, methylated spirit. So first of all, in the first step, take a test tube or a boiling tube and pour some methylated spirit. Did you understand? Yes. And after that, take a soft leaf. Take a leaf and boil the leaf in the water and transfer the leaf for 30 seconds. You can boil the leaf in the water, and after that transfer the leaf into the boiling tube or test tube containing methylated spirit. Understand, children? So what are the 3 steps now? You have taken the test tube. Inside the test tube, what is the chemical that is there? Methylated spirit. This is the chemical that is there inside the test tube. And what is the next step? You have to take one leaf. Before transferring it into the boiling tube, what you have to do? Yes, you have to boil that. You have to boil that. And after that, transfer the leaf into the boiling tube containing methylated spirit. And one more very, very important step here. Take this keep this boiling tube inside the beaker containing water. And after that, heat the entire apparatus, both. Anyway, if you will heat the outer one, the inner one will be also heated. Yes or no? So if you will heat the beaker with water, automatically the test tube contents also heated. So how do you heat that? With the help of the flame. This is called as Bunsen burner. And to set this apparatus upright or in a fixed position, you need a stand. Yes or no? That stand is called tripod stand. That is tripod stand. And let the heat will be provided to the entire thing for 15 to 20 minutes. Like that, we will boil the water on the stove for 20 minutes. No, you can also boil or heat this, okay, for 15 to 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, what you will observe, that is comes under observation. So once again I repeat the procedure for the final time. See here, children, you have to take a boiling tube with methylated spirit, transfer one boiled leaf to the methylated spirit into the boiling tube, okay, and keep this boiling tube in the beaker containing water, and you have to heat the entire contents under the flame from the Bunsen burner, which is kept on, see, this test tube on beaker should be kept on the tripod stand and with the support of asbestos gauge. Let the heat will be provided. That means that will be heating for how much time? 15 to 20 minutes. And after 15 to 20 minutes, slowly put off the flame. Okay, after anyway, you will observe in the kitchen, after cooking, your mother will put off the flame of the gas stove. Yes or no? So, by turning the knob. Here also put off the flame and slowly remove the leaf from the test tube with the help of a, don't keep your hands. Why we should not keep your hands? Why? Because there inside boiled methylated spirit is present, which harms you. That is why with the help of a brush, toothbrush or any brush you take, you slowly take out the leaf and go for a test. What is the test, children? What is the test? Yes, spread the leaf in the, what is this, children? Petri dish. This is called as Petri dish. This Petri dish, this test tube, this beaker, all these things you can see in your chemistry or biological sciences laboratory. Okay, so this is the Petri dish and the leaf will be there inside the Petri dish. And mainly one more chemical you have to take to test the presence of starch. What is that? Children, do you know iodine? Iodine, betadine, do you know? So when there is a bleeding, okay, so after cleaning they will put iodine. Yes, with the help of iodine, usually we will clean the wounds or cuts, anything. So here you just add drop by drop, okay, with the help of a dropper, you add drop by drop onto the leaf and you can observe the color change. If there is no methylated spirit here, if the leaf is not boiled, and if there is no methylated spirit, usually the leaf is in which color, children? Green color. If there is no methylated spirit, the green color turns into bluish black. The green color turns into which color, children? Bluish black. That means if the food is present, if the starch is present, the green color turns into bluish black. But what we did here, why we have to heat the leaf with the help of in the methylated spirit? This methylated spirit or alcohol, what it will do means, it will dissolve the chlorophyll. Due to the presence of the chlorophyll only, the leaf is green in color. The chlorophyll is removed here. The leaf turns into white color, and if you keep the white color in the petri dish and if you go for the test, you can't get the bluish black. Why? Because chlorophyll will be dissolved. Chlorophyll is not there. If chlorophyll is not there, you can't get bluish black color. Some other color or colorless it will remain. From this experiment, what did you infer? I mean, what did you conclude? From this experiment, it is clear that chlorophyll is very important for the leaf. If chlorophyll is present, the green color turns into bluish black. If chlorophyll is absent, the white color changes into another color. So if that means if the starch is present, if chlorophyll is not there, anyway the starch is not there. So here the presence of starch, if starch is present in the leaf, green color turns into bluish black. If starch is not present, you can't expect bluish black color. How do you remove the starch then? So the removal of starch, here you can't remove the entire starch. You have to remove one factor here. So that is what is here? Chlorophyll. So you are removing the chlorophyll with the help of methylated spirit. So if you dissolve the leaf inside the methylated spirit, the green color dissolves and after some time the white color will come. Can you expect the white color on treating with iodine solution? White color turns into bluish black, children? No, not at all. If chlorophyll is present in the leaf only, the chlorophyll turns into bluish black. Chlorophyll is not there. How can you expect? So you can't expect. So from this experiment, it is clear that if starch is present in the leaf, it turns into bluish black color upon treating with iodine. My question is, what are the two chemicals that are taken in this experiment? One is methylated spirit, the other one is iodine. The other one is iodine. Okay. So this is very, very, very important activity. Okay. Good morning, children. In the last class, we learnt about the presence, test for the presence of starch. So that is an important activity I already told, which is very, very important from your final examination point of view. Now let's go for the another topic. So as we know, before going to the another topic, we know that there are so many factors that are required for photosynthesis, like carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. So we have seen the test for the presence of starch. So what is the reagent that is used to test the presence of starch there? Yeah, iodine. So if iodine is not available, you can go for betadine. Okay, right. Now let's go for the another important factor, that is water. So here water and photosynthesis. Water and photosynthesis. So before going to the concept, let us recall the concepts you have learned in your 7th class about von Helmont. So von Helmont, von Helmont, what he found from his experiment? He found that water is essential for the increase of plant mass. So von Helmont found that water is essential. Essential means, children, required. Water is essential for the increase of plant mass. As you know that mass is the amount of matter contained in the body. So the matter which is present in the plant is due to the presence of water, which was told by von Helmont, already all learnt in the 7th class. Right. So here von Helmont found that water is essential for the increase of plant mass. But later on, He did not know about photosynthesis at that time. But later on, so what was it? Was found that increase in the plant body. What is the children? Increase in the plant body mass or material occurred due to the process of photosynthesis, not the presence of water. So you can find the difference here. So earlier, Van Helmont, from the experiments you have already learnt in the 7th class. So from his experiment, it was found that water is essential for the increase of the plant mass. Yes or no? But at that time, he did not know about the photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is nothing but a process of making the food material from the simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. Yes or no? So at that time, he did not know about photosynthesis, but later it was found that increase in the plant body mass of the material occurred due to the process of photosynthesis, not water. So from this, it is clear that water is essential for photosynthesis, and the plant body mass is increasing due to the presence of photosynthesis. Maybe water is one of the factors, but not total. Understand? Now let's go for the another factor, which is air. So that is air and photosynthesis. Children, you know that air is a mixture of several gases. Air contains nitrogen, air contains oxygen, air contains carbon dioxide, air contains water vapor and inert gases. Yes or no? Now let's see how air plays an important role for plants to make the food material. So let us discuss an experiment on photosynthesis. This one help us to find out about the role of air in the process of photosynthesis. So now let us have one small experiment which was performed by Joseph Priestley. What is his name? Joseph Priestley. So Joseph Priestley is a scientist who performed an experiment to know the importance of air for photosynthesis. Okay, right. So here it is interesting to learn about the experiment, which is one of the several milestones in the gradual development of understanding of photosynthesis. So this experiment is very interesting, and this is one of the several. It is very interesting to learn because it is very important, and which is one of the several milestones in the gradual development of understanding of the photosynthesis. So Joseph Priestley, from 1733 to 1804, in 1770, in which year? In 1770. In 1770, performed a series of experiments. So not a single experiment, children. He performed. Who? Joseph Priestley performed a series of experiments. A series of experiments that revealed the essential role of air on the growth of green plants.